Republican strategist Carly Atchison-Byrd. Thank you both for being here. Certainly appreciate it. Joel, I'd like to start with you. So Vice President Harris, she's doing an interview on Telemundo as well with the backdrop of this migrant surge that's approaching. So she's walking a bit of a tightrope at the moment. What does her message need to be to voters tuning in regarding immigration specifically?
Well, Kelly, it's great to be with you. And the message is clear. The gentleman that we just heard from is lying to you, the American people, about his concern about the border. If he was concerned about the border, he would have backed the bipartisan legislation that Senator Lankford pushed forward earlier this year that all Republican leadership wanted and supported, that would have reduced the flow of migrants across the border, increased the amount of infrastructure that we have to deal with those numbers. But he didn't. He wanted it as a campaign prop. And so he's playing politics with American national security and also, frankly, lying to the Latino community about his intentions. Make no mistake, this is a man who said he'll deport millions of people in this country. And this is a man who said he'll be a dictator on day one. And I think that's really what the vice president needs to hammer home. She is hammering home. She's reminding people of the truth, the facts, and the track record. And he is just misrepresenting his position and what he's done over the past year.
All right, Carly, I'll give you a chance to respond, and then I'd like to talk about more the economic issues at hand as well.
Yeah, I just have to roll my eyes. Kamala Harris isn't doing anything today. I think that Donald Trump said that. He was like, I can't believe she's taking a day off. Neither can I. You have senior officials leaking to the press already talking about they think North Carolina is out of reach, that the thought might be that Wisconsin and Michigan might fall off the map. The wheels are falling off of her campaign, her message on immigration and the economy. She doesn't have one, frankly. And as to the point about, you know, the bipartisan bill, first of all, it wasn't bipartisan. Second of all, this finger pointing at Congress, Kamala Harris is the current sitting vice president of the United States. Whatever you want to call her title, she was the one who was tapped to lead the response by the Biden-Harris administration to the border crisis.
That's
She's done
overstating
nothing.
her role.
Okay, whatever you want to call it,
czar.
she's the sitting vice president of the United States.
And
if that's
adjudications
her role,
have decreased steadily.
Frankly, if that's overstating her role, then she has not shown any type of leadership as the vice president of the United States. I think the American people see that. I think that's why she doesn't have the momentum and Donald Trump does. People trust him on the border. People trust him on the economy. That's why he's leading on those two issues.
So let's talk about the economy. This is going to be obviously central to this election. Harris intends to show off her plans to double the number of registered apprenticeships. This is for Latino voters. This is her plan specifically for them. Remove college degree requirements for certain federal government jobs and encourage private employers to do likewise. She also wants to provide forgivable loans worth up to $20,000 each to 1 million small businesses. Trump mainly is relying on his record on the economy. Does he need to get more specific, Carly, to win over this voting bloc, or do you believe his record speaks for itself?
I think that when people think about, are they better off today now, or were they better off under Donald Trump when it comes to the economy, they remember the economy under Donald Trump. Kamala Harris's plans fall flat. Again, she is the sitting sitting vice president of the United States. Excuse me. Maybe you can make the argument she's acting as the president, but in any event, she's currently in office. She's done nothing. So all of these plans fall flat and do not convince voters of anything because they want to know, what have you done for me? And when it comes to the economy, they remember it under Donald Trump. They have felt the Biden-Harris economy. Bidenomics is not working. People feel that. That's what they're going to go into the ballot box with. That feeling, that overrides any kind of talking point, any kind of plan, is how voters feel.
Joel, I'll give you a chance to respond.
Yeah, I mean, what we heard, of course, is that there are no plans, that there is no interest in the part of Donald Trump in helping the American people and the working people of this country. I do remember 4 years ago, what I remember is a massive pandemic and economic collapse. And I do now believe that all Americans understand clearly that there's the side of competence and the people actually dug us out of that ditch. And then there's the person who put us in that ditch, and that's Donald Trump. And, it's funny also, just have to remark, Donald Trump golfed more than any president in American history, talking about taking time off from the job. He was asleep at the wheel. A pandemic happened and an economic collapse. The budget debt grew by $8 trillion. It can go on and on. But he does not want to put plans in place to help the American people. And so we just have remember in some vague promises that really aren't going to help people in their pocketbook.
All right, Joe Carley, I wish we had more time. Thank you very much for a spirited conversation. We certainly appreciate it. And still ahead, with just 2 weeks to go to Election Day, NewsNation